I'll be honest, this is the kind of NASCAR story that feels like it should be straightforward, and somehow it is. 23XI Racing has just delivered one of the most explosive starts this sport has ever witnessed. Yet instead of the entire conversation focusing purely on history, a noticeable portion has already shifted toward suspicion, conspiracy chatter, and the idea that Tyler Reddick's three-race streak came a little too perfectly, too quickly, and too soon after Michael Jordan's team resolved its ugly legal dispute with NASCAR. So that's the real storyline today. The narrative that 23XI's three-peat looks gifted to some frustrated fans. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what Tyler Reddick accomplished at COTA, which records he shattered, what he said after holding off Shane van Gisbergen, how Michael Jordan reacted, why Kurt Busch was so fired up for the number 45 team, and then the larger tension hanging over all of it. Because the background matters, this didn't appear out of thin air. Reddick opened 2026 by winning the Daytona 500, followed it up with another victory at Atlanta, and then on Sunday, March 1st, he went to Circuit of the Americas and did something no driver in Cup history had ever done before. He won the first 3 races of a season. NASCAR's official race report noted he had already become just the 6th driver ever to win the opening 2 races the week prior. Then at COTA, he separated himself from every name in the record book by becoming the only driver to go 3-for-3 to begin a Cup season. And this wasn't a fuel mileage gamble. It wasn't a late caution shuffle. It wasn't chaos handing him track position. Reddick started from the pole, led a race-high 58 of 95 laps, and captured his 11th career Cup victory by 3.944 seconds. That's domination, not survival. He also did it at a track where the driver chasing him late, Shane van Gisbergen, had built a reputation as the modern road course benchmark. SVG entered COTA attempting to tie Jeff Gordon's Cup mark with a 6th consecutive road course win. Instead, Reddick beat him straight up at the only Cup road course SVG has yet to conquer. Reddick's post-race comments made it clear how meaningful this was. He called it a world-class moment for himself and 23XI. He emphasized how satisfying it felt because the team had grown tired of being outrun on road courses. And he admitted the closing laps were mentally draining because the one driver he absolutely did not want filling his mirrors on a road course was van Gisbergen. He said SVG rarely makes mistakes. His job was simple but brutal. Manage the gap, stay mistake-free, and don't give him a single opportunity. That tells you everything. The number 45 team knew exactly who was hunting them, and they still sealed the deal. And the record-breaking side of this story goes beyond just one flashy headline. Yes, becoming the first driver in Cup history to win the first 3 races of a season is monumental. But zoom out, and it's even more striking. Reddick turned a winless 2025 campaign into the hottest opening stretch the sport has ever seen. Fox's race recap also pointed out that 23XI became the first team to win the opening 3 races of a season, since Petty Enterprises did it in 1963. That's elite historical company. When your run starts being mentioned alongside names like that, the volume around you increases, from supporters and skeptics alike. Michael Jordan only amplified the spotlight. After the race, Jordan delivered the quote everyone clipped, "It's time for change." But the full context wasn't a threat toward NASCAR or a sign of tension. It was Jordan expressing that this moment feels like a shift for his team, for how 23XI is perceived, and maybe even for the competitive hierarchy inside the Cup garage. His longer remarks are more revealing. He credited Denny Hamlin as the architect behind building this operation, downplaying his own role as the competitor who provided the investment, while Hamlin helped identify the driver and assemble the group. That framing matters. It positions this run as the product of a deliberate vision, not some unexplained hot streak even the owners can't account for. Jordan has reportedly said he plans to be in Phoenix next weekend as Reddick attempts to make it 4 in a row. That alone tells you this streak is changing his weekly involvement. 23 Zai isn't shrinking from the spotlight, it's stepping directly into it. Kurt Busch's reaction came from a more emotional place, and honestly, it may say the most. Busch, who previously drove the number 45 before his concussion forced retirement, publicly congratulated Reddick, Hamlin, Jordan, Billy Scott, and the entire organization. He said he couldn't be more proud and called it history. That carries weight. Busch helped establish the early identity of that car. Now he's watching its new driver turn it into the epicenter of the sport. Now we get to the part fueling the headlines, where the done with NASCAR energy is really coming from. A segment of online conversation has shifted rapidly from celebration to suspicion. Social posts, message boards, and talk radio reactions have suggested that because 23 Zai and Front Row settled their antitrust dispute with NASCAR in December, perhaps there were additional benefits beyond the formal agreement. That's the conspiracy version. The idea that Jordan's team battled NASCAR legally, reached peace, and then suddenly can't stop winning. That theory exists. It's being repeated. But at this point, it remains exactly that, a theory pushed by detractors, not backed by evidence. In fact, the strongest counterargument is right there in the race itself. First, NASCAR's official post-race inspection found no issues with the number 45, no technical violations, no irregularities. Second, Van Gisbergen, the driver with the most reason to question anything, did the opposite. He praised Reddick, said the number 45 was simply very good, and explained his own team lacked a bit of turn and drive. If some fans felt something was off, that reaction stemmed from timing and emotion, not from anything concrete in the box score. That said, it's understandable why some feel uneasy. Even if the conspiracy doesn't hold water, the timing is impossible to ignore. Front Office Sports noted that 23XI's surge comes just months after settling the antitrust fight that had loomed over the sport since 2024. In sports, when legal battles end and one side immediately starts winning, people connect dots, even when those dots don't belong together. There's another layer too, what this means for NASCAR itself. Front Office Sports argued the sport is getting its biggest dose yet of Michael Jordan, the team owner. That part is real. Jordan's visibility is higher than ever. 23 Zai is now the primary storyline. But the business bump is mixed. The Daytona 500 drew 7.5 million viewers, up 11% from the weather-impacted 2025 version. Atlanta averaged 4.5 million, down 2% year-over-year. So the attention spike is real. The automatic ratings explosion, not guaranteed, not yet. Jordan brings headlines. Whether that translates into sustained audience growth remains an open question. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is writing its own narrative. The updated Cup standings after COTA show just how quickly this format creates separation. Reddick leaves Austin with 186 points and a massive 70-point lead over teammate Bubba Wallace at 116. Chase Elliott sits third at 114. Ryan Blaney holds fourth at 100. Van Gisbergen jumped to fifth with 90, tied with Joey Logano. Then come Daniel Suarez at 87, AJ Allmendinger at 86, Michael McDowell at 83, and Carson Hocevar at 82. Further back, Denny Hamlin is 23rd with 60. Christopher Bell is 24th with 59. Connor Zilisch is 32nd with 37 after a difficult opening stretch. Alex Bowman sits 36th with 23. Under the new format, wins are worth 20 bonus points over second place. And Reddick is maximizing that advantage more than anyone ever has through 3 races. That Zillish storyline matters too. COTA wasn't sunshine everywhere outside the 23 XI camp. The rookie showed real pace again, but finished just 14th after getting spun twice in Turn 1 incidents. He said it felt like one of the best races he's ever driven, which is wild considering the frustration in the result. That's how strange COTA felt. Reddick looked untouchable out front while talented drivers behind him had their days scrambled by chaos, restarts, and contact. So where does this leave 23 Xi? Not done with NASCAR in the literal sense, not walking away, not turning its back on the sport. If anything, the opposite. But it does feel like 23 Xi may be done apologizing for winning, done explaining why a fast car is fast, done pretending every big result requires a disclaimer. Reddick earned this start on track. Jordan is embracing the spotlight. The number 45 passed inspection. The second-place finisher praised the winner. The standings scream this isn't a fluke. The only real question now is Phoenix. Can anyone stop Reddick before this transforms from a historic opening into a full-blown early-season stranglehold? Or does the noise around 23 Xi grow even louder if the number 45 makes it 4 straight? That's what makes this compelling. Let me know what you think. Is this simply a dominant team cashing in on its potential? Or is the backlash around 23 Xi only going to intensify from here? And if you want more NASCAR breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and stay locked in.